Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 19, Episode 7.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Derek thinks that he and Meghann are getting to a better place with Zoe. Being married, he's going to do things that he wouldn't typically do, like walking the dog.
It's not about walking the dog, Derek. Are you slow? Like, it's the respect. I think, Derek, you wouldn't have a problem with walking the dog if you really knew and felt that your partner respected you. She don't respect your opinions. She don't respect whenever y'all have conversations. Literally, I have not seen a conversation that Meghann has started with Derek.
Yeah.
Every conversation Derek is leading and trying to bring them closer together. I think the whole thing about it is, Derek, you need to have some self-respect for yourself and actually speak up for yourself.
Yeah. Now, Brittany makes Will some salmon.
Yes.
He likes the food. Apparently her hair has been shedding everywhere, but he doesn't mind. They talk about if he would love her if she had a bald head, and I don't remember his response because I thought this was dumb.
I think he said he would love her if she had a bald head.
Yeah, and then I think she said to him that she wouldn't or something like that. That just reminds me of the question, like, would you love me if I'm a worm? Like that type of question.
You don't like that?
I'm just like, it's pointless.
Okay.
So she asked him what bothers him. She's trying to find that out, I guess. And he says having to repeat himself. Now he travels for work. He's going to be gone for about 3 or 4 days, and for this to work, she'll have to be okay with him being gone for some days.
I actually thought this was a good scene right here, and mainly because things always end with somebody crying or somebody walking out.
And I thought that's where they were getting when she started asking him what bothers him, because why do you want to know that?
But
to not do it? I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was a necessary part of the conversation.
Well, here's how the conversation went. They're having a conversation. He is complimenting the food, right? Obviously, she's happy to cook for somebody, right? He's complimenting the food, and he's basically talking about how he's ready to lick the plate and something like that, because that's how good it was. And then he took a piece of hair from her plate and basically got it out of a plate for her and things like that. And that's when she was like, yeah, my hair is everywhere. Does that bother you? And he was like, well, what can I do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. Like, so of course it doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
And that's when she was like, well, what bothers you then? Because it just seems like to him, he was just like, what can I do about it? And do I understand the spirit of the question? Yes. But because this question is not an isolated scene for just this.
Yeah.
It's showing that, like, you're just not the perfect guy, but it's like he's intentionally not being open. That's what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I feel like I'm starting to learn Will from what he's showing. I can only go off what he shows.
That's fair.
And from what I'm seeing, I think that he is just a very middle of the road type of person. And until he shows anything differently,
just going to accept that?
I'm just going to accept that this is who he is, and not really look at him like, oh, he needs to open up more or whatever the case may be. Like, I agree that I think that there could be a stifling there because Brittany is kind of dominating the space of all of her needs.
Maybe.
But I do think that Will just hasn't shown himself to be that difficult in that type of way.
But listen to his answer, though, because she asked a direct question. What is your pet peeve? What bothers you? And he said having to repeat himself. So now that lets me goes back to all the other times to where she wanted to basically have sex and he basically saying no over and over again, right? And I wonder, if you have a problem with repeating yourself, is that the motivating factor of why you kind of feel like you're not like open, or you're kind of like in defense mode? Because that may be something that he don't like, but to your point, he may not show that expressively to where it's like, he gonna crash out. But he will react or adjust how he will come off internally.
So he doesn't have to do that.
So he doesn't have to do that. How can you be with someone like that, though?
But I think that a lot of guys have that way about them,
for sure,
to where they, if they don't want to have a conversation or if they don't want to do something, they just won't even move down that path. Yeah. And you can look at that as stifling yourself, or you can look at it as, I think that's part of how men operate a little bit.
Well, from a guy, most of the time, the reason why guys would probably do the work themselves instead of bringing it up, because they don't trust you to be able to handle whatever the problem is. And based on how Brittany been reacting, I don't think he trusts her. I think he pacifies her. and things like that. I think he likes her. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes down to like equal value, I think he's like, yeah, I have to kiss and hug her and cuddle her and basically coddle her and things like that. Okay. More than actually like I'm learning her and I'm actually seeing her true value in this relationship and things like that. I think it's just a lot of coddling Brittany at the moment. Okay. And that's how he's basically surviving the relationship.
We move on to Rhonda and Pat, and she knows she got defensive the night before, but they were able to kiss and make up. Mm-hmm. She tells him that she wants to make sure that he feels safe with her. She doesn't want him to feel like he can't talk to her. And she acknowledges she needs to create a safe space for him to talk. Yeah. She doesn't want him to have resentment. Pat says that she can help him by when X was said, I felt Y, instead of pointing the finger at him as something he's done negatively.
That's fair.
So she agrees she will work on that. And from him, she will just need some gentle reminders and some patience.
I think on the surface, looking at this as a viewer, it's like, okay, they're having open communication about how to do things better. But if you're in a relationship, I can see how you could be tired of these type of conversations happening all the time. Like part of being in a relationship, and I understand that this is an expedited process, but part of being in a relationship is just living and just being and things like that. But I think because they having such a rocky road, they keep having these come to Jesus moments.
But they have to, because it keeps popping up.
And Rhonda, it's Rhonda, and it's like, and I just wonder. Pat seems like a really nice guy, but I can see how it can take a toll on him to where it's like, okay, I understand you're going to do things better, but I'm still recovering from the other long conversations and speeches and come to Jesus moments we had prior to. It just seemed like another thing we got to get over, to where I just want to talk and banter. That is one thing that he said on the honeymoon. I just want to banter. You get what I'm saying? But the
thing is, if you're having a rocky time, you can only talk through it. I mean,
but she's creating a rocky time. She told me that we gonna be married and I'm gonna be homeless. like
you just want her to stop doing what she's doing, essentially. Yes, but the thing is, she has to learn too. So they have to get through it together. I mean,
man, listen here, man.
We have Belinda, Jaylen, Chad, and Josh and her brother get together for a crawfish boil. Mm-hmm. Belinda loves that Chad cooks and he's being thoughtful towards others.
Okay.
Chad ended up saying, "I love you." Belinda hasn't gotten there yet. Jaylen thinks that they should get a post-nup out of the way. She doesn't want that to be something that's on his mind and holding their relationship back. But Belinda believes that if she ever considers being a stay-at-home mom, she needs to make sure that she's protected. Jaylen says that she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom because of what her mother has been through, and she learned from that, having to see her mom essentially start from rock bottom. So Belinda agrees that, it's hard to make the transition to the workforce, but she just wants her daughter to be protected.
Yeah, listen here. I'm all for the post-nup, but I'm all for, let's say, once we are in this marriage for real, and God willing, they have kids and things like that, there has to be some protection for the mother of your kids / wife. You get what I'm saying? So those things can be rewritten and revised however you want to. I do believe, because we are strangers and this is a weird experiment, yes, we both should get post-nups. But once you become the mother of my kids, oh yeah, we can throw that out or we can revise it to where, you know what? Anything we make from this point, then you have leverage to. But everything else, we gonna keep my business and things of that nature with my business partners to the side.
Yeah, and I have no issues with prenups or postnups. I mean, they can literally say whatever you want them to say. You could say that after 5 years, this is null and void, and then we can revisit having a post-nub, or you get X amount because we've been together this long. So I think that they need to make it makes sense for whatever their relationship is at the time.
Facts.
Now, Derek visits Meghann's house. He compliments her high ceilings, and there is a Christmas tree that's there out of season.
Meghann did have a nice house.
Brittany visits Will's place, and she does like his style in his closet. Belinda shows off her old cheerleading uniform to Chad. Rhonda is getting some gardening done with Pat, and she is enjoying it. She clarifies why she acted reluctantly to him moving in. So essentially, the last guy that she, had that short marriage with, she didn't move in with him until a week before the wedding with her kids. The home didn't feel like it was their home. It felt like his home. She even bought curtains, different things to spruce up the home. And he said, get that mess out of here.
Get it out.
And it was clear that they were living in his space, and she doesn't want to do that to Pat. He's confident that they'll figure it out.
What's your thoughts?
My thought of this was just like, then just don't do it.
Don't do it to Pat then.
And I guess this is the point where I do, because I feel like in a relationship you should be able to explain your point of view to your partner, because I do feel like context helps to bring a bigger picture of where you're coming from so they can understand you a little bit better.
Sure.
But I'm learning by watching Rhonda that there is a thing of over explaining. And I never believed it to be true. I never believed it to be true.
I tried to help her.
I was like, how will you know if I don't tell you?
Blair, just shut up for a second, please. Please.
How will you know? I gotta let you know what's on my mind. But this is over explaining. I understand that you were reluctant, and the conversation could have been a lot more simple in saying, Pat, you know, I was reluctant before, but I really want you to feel welcome in my home.
Yes.
And I want you to know that I welcome you with open arms. And that could have let the intention be known that I may not have reacted well in the moment, but I want you to know this is how I want to bring you in.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about all the negative experiences that she had, why she reacted that way, it's not a need to know. It's not a need to know.
You're probably the wrong person to do this to.
Okay.
Because you love to talk, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody was to say, if someone was to call you and say, Blair, we need to talk, right?
Yeah.
For most people, that'd be like, what the hell did I do? And things like that. Or what needs to be talked about? It just feels like every conversation starts off with Rhonda with, we need to talk. And that gives off a seriousness that doesn't need to be there.
And I guess for me, I'm the type of person that, I want to know, like, what is it? Because if I did something, or if you're feeling a type of way, like, I want to rectify it. So it's just like, give me as much information so I can do better.
And I understand some people may like that one time, maybe two times. But every conversation that we have, it got to be like, when we get home, we need to talk.
It's a drag. It's a drag.
It's like, about what? I just want to come home and chill. And I really think this may seem kind of weird. I think she could convey the same message the way you did in just a different way, more naturally. It doesn't seem natural.
It's too intense.
She's intense.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel natural. You could actually be having this conversation and things like this. Let's say while y'all in the room and you showing off the house, you could make it come off lighter and things like that. You know, like in like my last marriage, you know, I was married to this guy and he wouldn't even let me decorate or put any curtains up in the house. Like that could just be something in passing.
Yeah.
But this is why I feel, and I don't want you to feel, and because I'm reluctant, and they kick my kids out. It's just too much. And now he's forced to listen because he been told you gotta listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't come off as if y'all, and I'm gonna say it for this episode, they are old. You get what I'm saying? And not old in a disrespectful way. This should be the best parts of their life, to where they should just be
enjoying each other.
And I understand there's gonna be times where garden work got to be done, but it's like, let's have these conversations over wine, over something that we're having fun, and let it be light to where. But the thing about it is, now I can't trust you to have these conversations, because if you become defensive, now all of a sudden it's like, I don't even want to have conversations with you. So I feel like she could have conveyed this, but to your point and to the children's point, she's just too intense. Just lighten up. Just be cool, Rhonda. You know what I'm saying?
We've got Jaylen and Josh meeting with Dr. Pia. They've been super agreeable, so Dr. Pia gives them a game to shake things up a little bit, to where we see what they agree and disagree on.
I like it.
So she doesn't talk to her exes or follow them on social media. He does follow an ex and still is in communication with her, but he says he will cease all communication because now he sees where she stands with that.
Stop right there. I did not like that response of his. I did not like that response.
Why?
It wasn't a real response. He was it didn't give it's almost as if he did not give her a true lens into their past relationship. It's almost as if it's like, before you find out anything, you know what she's done, she's dead, I ain't gonna talk to her no more. It's almost like, whoa, like why do you feel the need that you still talking to your ex? What is the relationship you have with your ex and things like that? And it just seems like, hey, it's just too much appeasing. Like Jaylen didn't even show discomfort in it. Like, you get what I'm saying? I understand why her only discomfort was what she does. She said, yeah, I have no communication. I don't talk to exes and things like that. And he's like, oh, you don't do that? I'm not going to do it either. It's over. You ain't got to think about it no more. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. What are you trying to hide?
Oh, that's what it felt like.
It came off as if he was trying to hide something.
Okay.
More than actually like being like, yeah, I still talk to my ex without them even giving a reason why. He's just like, I'm gonna cut it off before y'all dig deep and find out something. I just found it very suspicious.
Okay.
Very quick. You know what I mean?
Now, Dr. Pia brings up the post-nup, and at first she didn't care about it, but after her conversation with her mom, she, her mom went through a lot, and she doesn't need his money, so she kind of at this point is not feeling too great about the post-nup. And he tells her that we don't need it. His business partner isn't worried about it, so he's not going to be worried about it.
And I'm like, what's going on here?
And I was just like, okay, so yeah, the business partner was an excuse in the first place.
Well, of course.
So it was all Josh to begin with. And I will say, like, I agree with you. Like, Josh seems like he's trying to do things to make her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing, but
not in this.
But I also want to know, like, okay, but what do you want though?
Exactly.
You know, what are your actual views instead of just trying to be agreeable? So,
yeah, it just came off as, hey, this post-nup was so serious. Like, just let me paint the picture for y'all. This post-nup was so serious to the point where he brought up his business partner and this whole ordeal at the honeymoon, right? Now, in one game that Dr. Pia is playing randomly about agreeing and disagreeing, now that she feels some type of way, or not even feel some type of way, just express a different lens of, hey, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, this is what happened, she had to start all over and things of that nature. And it was just like, oh, okay, then, you know what? I forget about the relationship. It's over. Yeah. It's just like, whoa, like, it just doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
It feels, if it was so important to you to bring it up at the honeymoon during a good time, why is it not so important for you to have at least something to come, and not to combat the conversation, but not to actually like flush it out? It just seemed like, oh, you could just toss it away that easily. It just seems like, Josh, what are you hiding? You get what I'm saying?
So we get to Jaylen and Belinda having a conversation. Apparently Chad left Belinda a really nice note because he went to go visit his daughter, and he has been a very good partner to Belinda, and Jaylen starts getting teary-eyed because she loves to see her mother being loved, essentially, and Belinda can see a future with him.
Do you have a problem with Belinda, even though this was said last episode, not saying I love you to Chad yet?
No, I don't feel a ways about it. If you're not ready to say it, if you're not there yet, then I don't think that's a terrible thing. No.
Yeah, I think the practicality of it can be dangerous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, the other person could feel rejected. Yeah.
But at the same time, this is a weird experience. I think you got to give people space to not say it in this experiment. But in real life, the practicality is going to be harder than actual not saying it, you know.
Derek meets up with his friend and he's discussing what he likes about Meghann. He also talks about how he's ready to have kids, but he's not exactly sure how she feels about it.
Yeah.
She was thinking about having 1 kid. He wants 3, and they do have a limited window with her being 38, but she does have the eggs that are frozen. He also knows that she can get defensive in conversation, and it's hard to communicate with her when she gets like that. So the friend tells him, don't become enamored that you lose out on what it is that you really want, which is a family, and aligning with your partner on that. So that gets Derek to thinking, you know.
It actually made me think, for starters, do you have a problem with him sharing this with his friend?
I don't.
Me neither.
And the reason I don't is because he really didn't come into it premeditating as though he's talking about his partner or his issues. The friend was genuinely asking, how are things going? I know you really want kids. Yeah. Where are you guys out on that front? And it just seemed like Derek didn't have a clear answer based off of their previous conversation. And, you know, he did know she wanted 1 kid, but he wants 3. And so he's been trying to appease her or compromise for so much of this relationship that his friend saying that, I think has put something back into his head of like, I should get something out of this. And I did come in here with certain intentions that can't just be pushed to the side.
Yeah. So let me put you on the spot again. Family is important to Derek, right?
Yeah.
He wants 2 or 3 kids. Do you put any blame on the experts of matching him with her?
No. I don't. And the reason I don't is because I don't necessarily know what Meghann told them when it came to that. She froze her eggs. And I think by you freezing your eggs, that could make you sound like you really want children because you went through this expensive process of freezing your eggs so that when the time is ready, like you will have eggs to do it. So it seemed like she's been very intentional about wanting to be able to start a family.
I'm actually on the other side. You're wondering what Meghann told the experts. I wondered, did Derek express how important family is to the experts? Because if he did,
that's another side.
If he did 2 or 3 kids and she's 38, and this is someone who frees her eggs, I would question, why did you match him with her then, and things like that. Am I being ageist? Maybe. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, we know, like, it becomes dangerous the more older as women get and things of that nature. If he wants a big family, something that he don't want to compromise on, I wonder why would they match him with someone that would go so far to freeze her eggs and like at the age of 38. I just find that very.
But what does freezing her eggs mean to you? Like you say that, like what does that mean to you?
I mean that I think I'm combining the two when it comes to her age and freezing eggs.
Okay.
With her freezing her eggs, I think it came down to, hey, I really have no prospects at the moment. But if I want to have kids, I want to always have the option to have kids, right? Cool. I don't think her freezing her eggs was a definite of I want to have kids. It was just I always want to have the option of if I want to have them, right?
That's fair, yeah.
But I'm compounding that with her age at 38. If Derek, big thing is that he wants a big family and things like that, why would they pair her or pair him with someone that's 38 is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if she haven't had a kid at 30, if she never had a kid and then she have her first kid at 38, who knows how long the recovery process will be? You get what I'm saying? Who knows that she want to continue to have kids at that age? So like I just find it kind of strange that Derek, I wonder if you actually expressed this, or are you someone that suppressed that and now you're kind of trying to do it now in the moment? Because if he expressed that in the beginning, then I don't see how they matched them two together, in my opinion.
Okay, so Brittany ends up FaceTiming Will. He's away from work, and she is complimenting him on how good he looks. They're talking about they miss each other, exchanging compliments, and she says now they're good with intimacy because they got it popping.
And I want to just throw another red flag on this conversation because I just watched the episode, so like I it's fresh on my mind. She is trying to basically gauge through the FaceTime conversation, how has work been, what have you been doing, and things like that. Even the time when before, matter of fact, I'm gonna get to that later. But while she was on FaceTime with him, she asked him, has he talked to anybody? Like basically, like, have you socialized with anybody while you've been out there for work? And he's like, well, there's people around. I'm going to talk to people that's around. Yeah. And I'm just like, why every tone of conversation you have with this girl is always like an undertone of duh. Like, and granted, she was too horny to recognize that.
But I also feel like that's him. But I feel like he's talked that way to her parents, his friends.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I don't see people like that. It's an acquired taste. You get what I'm saying? But she was too horny to recognize because she was like, my man look good. There's things like that. Like, she basically asked him, did like he cut his hair or anything like that? And I understand she missed him and things like that. But I just feel like I just want to see Will open up a little bit more. And maybe this is his way of opening up or being open, of trying to appease her, calling her every night before bed. I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Right? But it's like, Will, okay, you're doing things for her. What are some things that, to her question, what are some things for you? And I'm not seeing enough of that.
Yeah. I will say that Brittany and sex kind of like being the only form of intimacy that really matters to her is something that is really going to bite her in the behind. You know, I feel like it already has. But as they continue on, I mean, there's going to be times where you don't want to, he may not want to, and it's just like, are we always going to land in the same place of rejection? Yeah. So I'm really hoping that she can find other ways to feel that her partner wants her from him. Yeah, and and you gonna miss the little things if that's the biggest thing that matters. Exactly. So Meghann takes Derek to her job, and they're in a lounge playing a few games. He tells her about the conversation he had with his friend, and he wasn't sure about where she stands on having kids. She gets defensive. He tells her that he needs to ask because he wasn't sure, and she says she froze her egg. She wants kids. They already talked about this. Birth freaks her out, and she is getting irritated because if you know me, you know how much I want to be a parent. She also says that they have unprotected sex all the time. She is annoyed because she feels blindsided that he's been feeling this way and didn't bring it up to her. And if she didn't want to have kids, she would tell him. He tells her that when you get this defensive, it's what makes him concerned. Her reaction is the reason why he doesn't bring things up. This is important to him, so we're going to have this conversation more than once. Yeah. Just flat out, she's abusive. Like, her reaction is abusive. It's almost in a way of like, why you talk to your friend? Yeah. Like, no, like, an abuser want to isolate you and things like that. But she knows she can't, but she knows that he can't talk to her because she go feel ambush. So it's this gaslighter, abusive tactics that she's doing. I don't like nothing about Meghann so far to this episode. Yeah, she continuously flies off the rails, and it's as though, I mean, he really can't say anything to her. He can't bring anything up. It's going to be an issue. She's always going to feel ambushed or blindsided. So stop talking to her. Exactly. That's all I got to say about it. I mean, there's literally no getting through to her. The only thing I will say is that, yes, it's important to go to your partner before you start going and getting opinions from other people. But if she would have listened to the conversation, it's not that he was trying to pick his friend's brain about it or spill the tea, so to speak. He didn't have a good enough answer for the friend, so he felt like he should get more information from her. Yeah. So, but she don't listen. Will ends up coming back home. Brittany gave him a hug. She also got him some food, and they're sitting on the couch. She tries to fix him a plate, but he tells her no, like, I want to sit here and just cuddle with you for a little bit, and they end up kissing. Look, I actually like this. And this actually, one thing I've been saying in these past episodes is that even though Brittany is inexperienced, she's eager to learn. And that's a great trait for her to have. You notice, like, they have like their little boards and things like that. She had a board on the fridge that basically said "Welcome home, hubby." Yeah, it was very sweet. Like she wants to be a good partner. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And because of her inexperience, she's gonna mess up a lot. But I hope that we'll have the grace to see her eagerness as an asset and to see someone that don't want to make the same mistake. Like the mistakes that Brittany is making, these are not mistakes that she's trying to make. Yeah. Her problem is she's trying to be perfect. You get what I'm saying? That is what it is. Yeah. And she wants him to be perfect exactly. Too. And by her trying to be perfect, any type of imperfection, it's like, now we got to have a come to Jesus moment. Yeah. It's like, it's not that serious. I said your house was nice. I said it smelled nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, Derek explains that him and Meghann haven't reconciled yet. We have a girls and guys party where they have separate parties. Will says that he's still learning Brittany, and to make the disagreement stop, he just has to make her feel secure. And Patrick says Rhonda is direct. He's indirect. He's learning her too, and they had to reset. Did you have a problem with this scene right here? Now, in this scene, to basically broaden it out a little bit, the guys went around in a circle talking about, like, how has it been, basically to describe your partner in a way. Yeah. And everybody had great things to say, like, it's awesome, it's beautiful, it's all da-da-da-da. Will said learning. Yeah. And then that, in a way, made Pat open up to say, well, you know what, Rhonda is direct. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's kind of indirect. Did you have a problem with Will describing his relationship with Brittany as learning compared to how all the other guys were talking about, oh, it's amazing? Yeah, the reason I had a problem with it is because they asked you to describe your wife, and this is another kind of aspect of Will not answering the question. So he said learning, we're not talking about your relationship, how things are going. Describe her as your wife.
Yeah.
And I think that he's in such a space with her to where he's having to learn and manage her that I don't think that he's really recognizing her assets. You know, I think that he's just trying to get through the muck right now. And I can understand that, but I'm just like, you don't see any positive qualities to point out. That's the only thing I had to think of.
Yeah. I think it just goes back to my whole point of, I think he's just pacifying her. I think when it comes to her, I think he wants to be the smartest guy in the room at all times. And I think it's like, oh, learning. But, she's really learning. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's learning, but at the same time, he used learning to describe their relationship, and it really have to do with her, really. And him just reacting and trying to basically see where he could get in and fit in. But at the same time, I just want to see if Will can open up more to where, you know what? It's kind of easy to put like this. It's easy to see someone else's flaws when the other person is being 100% vulnerable and things like that. Brittany is trying her best to be her best.
Yeah.
And she's only doing what she knows, right? So that automatically put Will in a position to criticize what he is seeing because she's the one that's acting out. If Will is the one that's never putting himself out there will never be a time for her to be like, that's not good. That's not mature.
But I just feel like there's no space for him to do that. Brittany will have a breakdown.
No. There's space.
Okay.
There's space. And he's intentionally putting himself in position, in my opinion, holding back to where he would never have to be criticized.
That's fair. So Rhonda is talking about how she's trying this hard because she's married. Pat is a genuinely nice guy. Brittany shares that she and Will's feelings are growing for each other.
Okay.
And Rhonda's boss had a comment that when you go through change, it requires you to change. Meghann is very quiet, y'all.
Meghann haven't talked. Exactly.
Brittany and Jaylen agree that there are things that they are working on that they have to grow in, and they could have missed out on being with these guys and like if they were just dating them regularly, because it would have been one issue and they would have gotten about the situation.
Yeah.
So Belinda and Chad apparently had a whole song and dance party, so they've been enjoying their time.
Yeah.
And Meghann says that they've had some setbacks, but they're moving it's making them stronger. Meghann doesn't really want to talk to the girls about her issues because she doesn't want to bring other people into their issues.
This is also going to support my plot of her being abusive. She's trying to use the language of, you know what? If you bring people into your relationship, it's just going to make it worse and things like that. But the main reason why she don't want to bring nobody in is because she's isolating everybody from the relationship.
Yeah, and also because she doesn't want anybody to tell her that she has any work to do. If I have to explain the whole situation, then somebody is going to tell me that there is something that I could have done better, and she don't want to hear that.
She don't want to hear that. Keep going.
Derek says that it's been a lot of transition. They can both be stubborn, and things can escalate quickly. Chad enjoyed the party at Derek's house. He comes home and dancing with Belinda, and they share I love yous for the first time.
Dude, you feel like this was kind of forced?
No.
Dude, like you feel like I'm like 80-20. I'm like 80.
The I love you or the dancing?
The I love you.
Okay.
The 80-20 that it wasn't forced. There's a 20% there because he came home, I think, feeling a little lifted. You get what I'm saying? Like, partying with the guys a little drunk a little bit. And then he just wanted to dance around, and he's complimenting her. I don't want to say love bombing because they're married, but he's like, you're so beautiful. You're so awesome. You're so beautiful. My heart is happy with you. All these things, just giving her all these rose petals and things like that. And then he ends it with, I love you. It kind of puts you in a position to where you just can't just say thank you after all of that.
She did it before. I don't see why she couldn't do it again.
I don't know. This was listen here.
I don't think anybody's gonna be twisting Belinda's arm.
I feel like Chad put that full court press on her and basically was like, "I love you," and then that's when he was like, "Oh, okay, oh shucks, now go ahead and get that cowboy hat." Yes. Like maybe. So
we get to Meghann and Derek, and she's asking him what did he say about them because she didn't say anything.
Stop right there. Abusive language right there. I'm trying to show y'all, man. Meghann is abusive, man. Or at least she's showing the characteristics of someone that abused. It's craziness to me.
So he says that he was honest, and she believes that they should keep some things between themselves. So Derek tells her that he didn't do anything wrong, and he didn't think it was that big of a deal. And she says that's not for him to say. That's how she felt. She feels like he's being tense, and she takes her dog and walks into the bedroom.
Okay.
She keeps locking herself into rooms. This is like very teenager like.
Well,
so she calls him into the bedroom and says that she's still mad about him thinking that she doesn't want to have kids, even though that's not what he said, because she don't listen.
Of course.
He doesn't appreciate how she reacts to things, and she needs him to take accountability to get off his high horse, and now she's done with the conversation. And he's asking, what exactly did I do wrong that I can take accountability for? And she don't have nothing to say.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, Meghann gotta go.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I have to say, because this is not somebody that you can work with or reason with. She doesn't want to listen. She's going to lock herself in a room. When you ask her what it is that I did wrong, she's going to tell you to get off your high horse. So there's no reasoning with this lady. You know, just she and Zoe need to stay in a place by themselves.
100%.
Yeah.
I think there should be a new rule on here to where we need to get abusers off the show. They need to keep watching the film and be like, hey, you're not really being open in this marriage, and you need to leave. Because the way Meghann is showing out in these past 2 to 3 episodes, I don't see how Derek haven't crashed out yet. I give him respect for actually keeping his emotions under control. But at the same time, you can't keep putting yourself down and being a floor mat. Yeah. You have to be like, you know what? I'm not doing this with you. I'm going back to my house and going back to my apartment where I can have my night terrors by myself and things of that nature, because you keep putting me in positions to where, like, everything she's accusing him of, she's doing to him.
Yeah.
She's blindsiding him. She's ambushing him and all these things. The first thing you go say, so what did you tell them? It's just like, why does that matter? How was your night?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
And that's all we got.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hype the video. We see you next time.
Bye.